first of all, what's your name?
Ayanna Candy,
Okay. And when we first started, you were a CNA. What are you currently now?
an LPN.
And then what was the major goal before we started working together? Like, what were you after?
To lose weight and to feel more confident and just to overall feel much better about
Oh,
myself and just feel better just solely as a person.
okay. Okay. And just define that a little bit. What does feel better actually mean to you? Because that's
Like,
super broad.
I know, but just feel like not like blah. Like you know how when you're like super overweight, you just don't feel like motivated or you just feel tired. You just feel bad. I just feel bad.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
feel bad. That was the goal, is to not just wake up feeling like, oh, I gotta walk up these stairs, man. Okay, come on, let's do it.
Like when, just to define that even further. So, like when you walked up the stairs, what did you feel? Because now, since you just said that,
Exhausted.
exhausted. Okay. Did you
Yes,
feel
or just
pain
like
in your
doing the
joints?
simplest things.
Okay.
Not even like pain, just more like, or like my muscles would hurt because I hadn't been working them, or just feeling like just lazy. Honestly, it's just lazy, unhappy. Like I can definitely tell, like working out and just like being healthier overall has kind of changed my mindset. And so like I feel like I had my depression was really bad then. And so now
Mhm.
like I feel like I still have my phases. I think like everybody goes through things, but
Yeah. Yeah.
overall I think I'm a happier person. But as far
Yeah.
as like my depression, I feel like I can handle it a bit better than I have in
Mhm.
the past. I used to have really bad social anxiety because I was
Mhm.
always scared about how people were going to perceive me back then, because I wasn't happy with myself. So I'm like, oh my God, everybody's judging me and things like that. I don't feel like I'm anxious in that way anymore. Like I'm
Gotcha.
like, you see me, okay?
Right. Right.
Now I go out and I mingle and I date and I make friends and I do all the things that I was so scared to do before. It's
Mm.
crazy. I'm more aware of myself. Like I'm more self-aware. Like I'm able to identify when I'm not doing okay or not feeling okay. Like I think before I was just kind of like, oh, this is just how I feel. But now I'm like, okay, I don't feel okay. But now I can pinpoint, okay, what have you
Why?
been doing these last few days? What's going on? What do you need to do? And although sometimes I know what it is, I'm still learning to like adjust those things. But at least
Mhm.
I can identify them now.
That's really cool. So
Yeah,
your
it's changed.
awareness has like, greatly improved, you would say. Okay.
Oh, for
What to
sure.
look for, those kind of things to keep the needle moving forward on your process.
hmm I feel like back then I was just more exhausted because I was eating like crap. I wasn't working out. I wasn't doing anything beneficial for my life.
Mm.
So that type of tired is just like, it feels different than this type of tired. Like I would wake up tired, go to sleep tired. I could sleep all damn day and I'm still tired.
Mhm.
But now I'm like, I can get a full 8 hours and I get my day done. And I
Yeah.
don't feel like just like I don't feel like just foggy, like just all the time. And I don't feel like that anymore.
So basically, now
Yeah.
because you have a healthier body, you're able to do more.
I don't feel like I had like control over my
Yeah.
life or like
Yeah.
control over myself. And it's like now I feel like I do. So it's
Mm.
like
Define
I
that. What do you mean by
know,
that?
like I just never felt in control of my feelings and my emotions. Like I just didn't feel in control. I really feel like my life was just in a downward spiral. And I'm just like, oh, we're just going. We're just going with it. But now I'm just kind of, when I feel myself kind of spiraling, I'm like, all right, hold on, sis. I feel this.
Mm.
Let's change some things up. Whereas before, I felt like there was so much going on and there was so much wrong that I didn't know where to start or I couldn't pinpoint anything. I'm like, so if I was like, oh, I know what's wrong, I'm like, well, it could be all 50 of these things. I've learned my body a bit more and I've learned my
Yeah.
mind and my mental health a bit more. So like I can feel myself starting to go down the wrong path again, as far as especially mentally. Like if I start to take a step back mentally, I'm just like, let's fix this here. Let's fix this real quick. Whereas
Okay.
before I couldn't do that. I feel myself falling, but I was just kind of like, I really don't think there's anything I can do to stop it. So I just kind of sit in it.
Ayana, dude, you have lost 30 inches. and your weight has gone from 214 to 154 pounds.
I
That's
know.
60 pounds of loss. And in
It's
the
so hard to
beginning,
believe.
oh my gosh, remember the beginning, how much we struggled with metabolism. We really had to work on that. There was quite a few things that we had to kind of upgrade. I mean, really,
Hmm.
really, and there was consistency in the beginning, but eventually, you started to feel all of the things that I was saying. You started to actually feel
Hmm.
it. So it's like, okay, well, if I do this, then I'm going to get this result. Now I'm actually going to listen to this guy because he has my best interest at hand. That's literally the shift that I felt. I would really say your big start was really, I'd say 2020 to
Hmm.
2021, in my opinion. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's when I noticed the most change in myself and like physically too. So yeah, I would definitely say.
I mean, this is the first picture that we took. And then now we're here.
Hmm.
So visually looking at this, because it's a whole nother animal, just talking about how you feel without seeing this picture. But if we zoom out a second, what would you say is your favorite shift that you've noticed about yourself?
Oh my God. I'm just so much more confident. And I think that is my favorite thing is like I don't like shopping is my favorite thing. Buying clothes is my favorite thing now. Something that
That's
I
so
hated.
cool. That's so cool.
Oh my gosh. I ran out of room in my closet. I have clothes just on a rack up there because I have bought so much stuff because now I don't have to shop in the plus size anything. Meaning I have options.
That is fire.
Um,
That is fire.
and mentally it's like I never used to look at myself in the mirror naked. I never just used to like enjoy being or like showing any skin. Uh, Shorts and tank top me, please now. Like I'm just so
Yes.
happy. It's the confidence and like just like the mental, almost like the mental clarity and just like okay. And I think it's pictures like this that help me because but I've also learned that I have body dysmorphia because sometimes
Mhm.
when I look at myself, I still see that me. And so seeing how I used to look and then reminding myself, well, no, girl, you actually look like this now. I'm like, okay, I just have to keep reminding myself because it is hard and like I automatically want to like size up when I
Mhm.
go buy clothes, but I'm like, you don't need to do that anymore. They don't need to be all flowy. You can wear clothes that actually fit.
Mhm.
It's okay.
I mean, now you're able to shop more. You actually like doing it. You like looking at your body naked, which is the most important thing in the world. If you don't like
Mm-hmm,
what your body looks like naked, there is a problem and it will
mm-hmm.
create body dysmorphia. There's no way around that. So the
Yeah.
only way to shift that, it's results. You have to
Mm-hmm,
change the physical form of you.
mm-hmm,
You take such a huge shift physiologically that your whole biology changes. So the way that you feel things, do things, the way that you notice things, everything has been upgraded. And that's literally from a cellular level. That's something that people don't necessarily think about, but our cells physically upgrade. So therefore, our telomeres are the things that, kind of like show us our age. They also change. So it's like you're aging in reverse. Like that's not a lie. And
mm-hmm,
and this is how powerful it is to actually transform fully and truthfully instead of doing it with a diet and all of the crap that mainstream media really pushes really hard. People don't
mm-hmm,
talk about the journey. People don't talk about the problems. People don't talk about the stress. People don't talk about the sleep. People don't talk about the anxiety, the depression. People don't talk about the dysmorphia. They really
mm-hmm,
like to just say, hey, it was overnight. But then those people who do that, they always gain it back, frustratingly so.
mm-hmm,
We're talking about, and these, I'll even say like from this week, because I'm talking to people all the time, that individual lost 30, 40 pounds. And then the second that they did this, because they did it really fast, they didn't gather any habits, physiology didn't change, biology didn't change, all kinds of things basically stayed the same. They were the same
mm-hmm,
human, but they forced the result. So the second that they
mm-hmm.
got off of that pattern, that diet, that whatever, because they did not make a decision for this to be a forever plan for them, guess what
Yeah.
happened? They actually not only put that weight back on, but more so. And this is the
Mm-hmm,
scary part. Most of them have put on 20 to 50 additional pounds.
That was me though.
Mhm.
I went from running 3 miles every day
Yep.
to the summer before I went to college. I stopped working out, and that's when I slowly started to gain weight. And before I know it, I'm a senior in college weighing 210 pounds.
And see, and that's kind of like the fitness industry would say that it's blasphemous to work out only 1 to 3 times a week, but you've been doing that for I don't know how
Mm-hmm.
long and still getting the same success
And I think
because
that's why I made the mistake the first time, because I feel like I've always struggled with weight. That's the thing. But like I didn't start taking like fitness serious until I was like a sophomore.
Mhm.
And so it wasn't like, well, I only need to do like kind of go slowly or just really pay attention to my body because I wasn't educated in that way. So I'm like, okay, well, I just gotta 5 days a week, 3 miles, 30 minutes. I mean, I did it. But then as soon as I didn't do it anymore, came back tenfold.
It's true. And the thing is, to do all of that to your body, again, you have a cellular system. So when you're pushing that hard and you don't necessarily need to, what you're doing
Mm-hmm.
is you're putting your brain in a place where it feels it needs that amount. So then you continue to do it. It begets more of that kind of activity, doing too much, right? While you're already having a stressful lifestyle. So then
Mm-hmm.
that kind of deals with things that happen in the digestive system. We might start to feel bloated, heavy. We might start to have constipation. We might have to, that starts to lead into energy issues. And then that leads to sleep issues. And that leads to broken sleep issues. It's just on and on and on and on and on. It doesn't happen until we make that decision to truly listen to our body. That's your physiology. Your biology is talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
We have to become masters of that. I do like that you said you've become better at it. That's a broken pattern thing, which is fantastic. Anytime you can slash, I mean, completely crush a pattern and just
Mm-hmm.
shrivel it to bits, that means that it's never going to come back. And now I would say you're probably going to start seeing a dominoes here, probably with the next 20, 30 pounds ish. It's going to freak you out. So